Preparing to live stream.
On your cue, Mr. President, whenever.
Yes, I'm just waiting for us to.
Alaikum.
Salam alaikum.
Go ahead for it.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you are in the world. My name is DT Faraz Farooq, the Stand-in Sergeant at Arms, and it is an immense pleasure and an honor to welcome each and every one of you to our meeting 210. Some basic rules. If you have any emergencies, please knock the screen off and make sure you get yourself to a safe location. I'm sure you know where the restrooms in your houses are, so please feel free to use them. If you are using them, please turn the videos off because we are not really interested to know what you're doing over there. And with that little words of wisdom and advice, let me welcome you all and also hand over to our president. This young man has been all over the place. He has been through almost all the leadership roles that I can think of, and maybe a few more which we cannot even think of. Yesterday, he was in about 10 different meetings to such an extent that even his to-do list told him to get lost. He is the president of Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters and the CGD of District 20. Please join me in welcoming DTM Khalid Abdullah. The floor is yours, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, DTM Farhad. What an introduction. May I just ask everyone to mute themselves so we can just hear one of us at a time? Let me call on meeting number 210 to order. And let us start with recording the apologies. Do we have any apologies, members of Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club? Going once, going twice. Okay. I would expect that we don't have any apologies. That's excellent. We move on to the adoption of the agenda. DTM Farhaz, our Vice President of Education. Any changes in the agenda?
Mr. President, I can see all the role players here. There's just one of the evaluators who got called in to work in a hurry, but she will be joining as soon as she gets home. So there's no real need to change the agenda. I propose that we adopt the agenda as presented. Back to you.
Great. Thank you so much, DTM Farhaz. Now, who would second that, please? May I have someone from the members to second?
Mr. President, Ghulam Farooq, would second that proposal to adopt the agenda.
Thank you so much, DTM Ghulam, Toastmaster Ghulam Farooq. We have too many Farooqs in here, so I'll have to be really careful. Thank you so much.
Just
Great.
remember, I'm the smart one.
Okay, I will not comment on this. I still need our DPA till the end of the term, so. Nice one, Toastmaster Farooq. Wow, we have too many guests here. Where should I start? Let's do this quick. One time in one of the Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club meeting, I started with only 2 guests we had, and then all of a sudden there were more than 20 guests. So let me do it. I think for the sake of change and hearing from newcomers. So let me start from my right-hand side. The first one in here is Toastmaster Deepak. Toastmaster Deepak, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Deepak. I was in Qatar for some time. I was almost for 7-8 years. I was a Toastmaster over there. I recently came to Bahrain, joined in one of the company called Koglich, and yeah, I was missing all this Toastmaster action. I love the face-to-face action, but anyway, for time being, we will enjoy with this particular web meetings, and I look forward for the meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepak, for coming here all the way from Qatar to enjoy our meeting. Thank you so much. We are honored to have you. Toastmaster Nias, our timer today.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. I'm
Evening.
Toastmaster Nias Fatima from Angels Toastmasters Club. I'm a new Toastmaster, just 7 months old. So happy to be here. This is my first time also with the Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club. So glad to be here. And I living here for more than 10 years with my family. Yeah, so happy to be here. Thank you. Looking forward
Wow.
for the meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nias, for being here for 10 years, and we could not find you to bring you here in Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club. So forget about those 10 years. Today is your day one in Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club. Thank you so much, Toastmaster
Thank
Nias.
you. Thank you.
Wow, I have a president, a past president of the club, and almost a chartering president as well. DTM Zulfiqar, can we hear from you? Please help me welcome Toastmaster DTM Zulfiqar.
Thank you, Mr. President. And fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests in this meeting. It's an honor to be here as a guest today. Though with Toastmaster Ratinder, I shared the chartering charter here as charter president, and it is always a pleasure to come back to BAT. It's a honor basically, and BAT was the club where I did my DTM also. So it is something which I'll never ever forget. Thank you for calling me and getting me here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DTM Zulfiqar, for coming here. And I think this is the welcome back for you, and we will never leave you alone from now on. Let me move on to the next guest. I can see Toastmaster Sadia on the video. Toastmaster Sadia, please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Sadia Batul, and I am recently been selected as president of DR United Companies Corporate Club Toastmaster. And I'm here today for 3 reasons. The number one and foremost reason is your brilliant president, Mr. Khalid, whose continuous support has actually made me love my role. And I'm looking forward to be one of a president like him as he is running his show. Hopefully I'll be able to do the same. Secondly, I am totally in love with your topic of today. So I am looking forward to hear from all of you. And thirdly, I'm here today to see that how actually a meeting runs and get more experience into that. Thank you very much, Mr. Khalid, for having us here. And thank you, everyone. Looking forward to hear from you all.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sadia. I can honestly see the genes and Toastmasters within you. And by the way, this president of this club is very lousy. You definitely do better than him. Thank you so much for being
I don't
here.
think so. Okay, you're welcome.
Ali Salami, I was here and trying to interact with you. I think he was here before even myself. So Ali Salami, are you still around? Would you please say a few words, introduce yourself?
Yes, good evening. I'm Ali Salame. I'm part of DR Toastmaster Club. I'm here. This is the first time actually for me to join such meetings. I'm new in Toastmaster Club. I'm looking to have experience from all of you of this very interesting club. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ali, for being here. It's really lovely to see new Toastmasters mixed with also senior Toastmasters in this club. Moving on with Area 32 Director, Toastmaster Siham. Please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, Mr. President and dear Toastmasters and honorable guests. I am TMCM, Toastmaster since 2016 in about 6 clubs, and I am Area 32 Director. And I'm so pleased and delighted to be among you today. Hope you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Siham. I think this is maybe the second or third time that you attend our meetings, and we're really blessed. If I start to say all of your efforts in the district today, I mean, this term, I wouldn't really give justice. So thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me move on to Toastmaster Santushi. She all the way from Hyderabad. When I heard Hyderabad, I felt like hungry for the Hyderabadi biryani. So let us hear from Toastmaster Santushi. What would she say? Toastmaster Santushi, floor is yours. Please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, I'm Toastmaster Santoshi from Hyderabad Entrepreneurs. I'm pursuing my BTech second year in Karnool, Ujipula College of Engineering. I just started my Toastmaster journey with a college club, RG Titans. Due to some issues, I have shifted to Hyderabad Entrepreneurs. Now I'm enjoying the Toastmaster meetings. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Toastmaster Santushi, from joining us all the way from Hyderabad. Thank you so much. Very familiar face next to her, our counter as well for today. Toastmaster Jenny, please introduce yourself.
Hi, good evening or good afternoon. Good evening to our ever-loving and ever-smiling DTM Khalid Abdullah and all the fellow Toastmasters and distinguished Toastmasters here. I am very happy and glad to be in this meeting today. Every Saturday, I am a guest in this meeting, of course. And today I am taken a role as a counter, and thanks to DTM Faraz Farooq for inviting me as a counter. I couldn't say no to him because he's always there to help me at whenever I need him. So this is how I'm here today, and I'm so glad to be a role player in Back Toastmasters Club, and I really feel so privileged. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jenny. Now I know who can drag your legs for the next meeting. So thank you so much as well, DTM, for us. Let's move on to the next guest. Wow, this guest, I think I haven't seen him for maybe more than 5 years. And he just came to know about us, in fact, about Toastmaster through the logo or the photo that I had. Ask me about Toastmasters in my WhatsApp. Wow, Rashid, you look totally different. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Khalid. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rashid Bahloul. I had the pleasure and honor to meet Mr. Khalid back in 2012. That was in 2012, yeah, when I had the honor of meeting him in one of the programs which I have participated in. It was a Basel program, if I recall precisely.
Yes, right.
Yeah. It was also a chance for me to be introduced in one of the Toastmasters programs. I work currently as an application development manager in Al Salam Bank. Pleasure to meet you all, and I look forward to meeting each one of you. Thank you.
Wow, small world. I thought it's 5 years.
It's been more than that. Trust me.
Welcome, Rashid. Really happy to see you here. Really happy to see you. Delighted to see you. Let's move on to the next. I can see Bashar. Bashar, can you please?
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Oh,
This
good afternoon.
is Bashar Sulaiman, DUC Toastmaster in Kuwait. It's a pleasure to be here. And actually, this is the first meeting for me in Toastmaster. Really motivated and happy, and really want to know everyone well and get from their experience. Thank you all for having us today.
Wow, thank you so much, Bashar. We have too many from DUC today, so it's really amazing, amazing. New blood, new Toastmasters in our district. Thank you so much for joining Toastmaster, Bashar. I can see Toastmaster Shadi. If I'm not mistaken, is it Cairo Toastmaster Club? Toastmaster Shadi, please introduce yourself.
I don't know if there's more than one Shadi, but are you referencing me?
Oh, DUC, another DUC. Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I can't see who's present, so I'm assuming you were mentioning me. Yes, I am from
Yes.
DUC, and been involved with Toastmasters since 2002 in the States. And then when I came to Kuwait, started the initiative to start Toastmasters at Diyar, and Khalid has been extremely helpful in that journey. So here to support the Toastmaster people.
Wow, thank you so much, Toastmaster Shadi. Honestly, you've been really instrumental in all of what DUC is right now. It's whatever happened is all because of you. Thank you so much for being such a great leader.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the last guest in my list. I hope I did not miss anyone because sometimes the videos keeps on moving. AD Imelda, can we please hear from you?
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me. And I can see some familiar faces, friendly faces, and intimidating faces on this club. So I'm excited. And at the same time, I'm scared. So I look forward to this meeting.
Thank you so much, AD Imelda, for joining us today. Wow, that was really amazing. When we have that many guests, you feel like you want just to go on and on. Great. Let me pick from what
Mr. President, just for the sake of completeness, we shouldn't forget our guest, who's always a guest, who we think now as almost a member. Toastmaster Muhammad Bukharuddin is here.
Yeah, see, that's what I missed. Yes. Isn't he a member yet? Okay. Toastmaster Muhammad Bukharuddin, could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Mr. President, for remembering me, and as well as VPE. Still, I'm not the member. Our CGT is trying to be a member for me to this club. I will try my level best because I have some other commitment. And thank you so much, Mr. President, inviting me over here. Whenever he's inviting for anything, I will say no. So I directly join over here to take advanced Toastmasters experience over here. Thank you so much to everyone.
Great, great. Always great to have you, Toastmaster Muhammad Bukharuddin. We really, honestly speaking, I thought he's a member. I'm being very frank with you. But yeah, I think it's okay, Toastmaster Muhammad, I'll speak to you later. Great, let me pick from what AD Imelda just said. Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club is the first Advanced Toastmaster Club in the Middle East, if not even Region 11. That's the Advanced Toastmaster Club. That's the club that we are talking about here. We have two chartering presidents today as well in the room. We have the first chartering president, DTM Ratinder, and then same year as well, DTM Zulbukhar. Both of them were here. So that's where this whole journey started, with founding members, of course, that DTM Ahmed Rizvi was there. Then we have also another chartering president who is not really a chartering president, but we are really honored to have immediate past Region 11 advisor who also picked up the club when the club was in one of its lowest possible places. And we also consider that as another layer or another wave as well of that great club. Thank you so much, everyone who had contributed to have this marvelous club. AD Imelda just said, she's a bit worried. What would I do in an Advanced Toastmaster Club? We have a guest. Okay, we have a guest. I would definitely come back to that guest. What would she say? She said, well, I'm a bit worried. Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club. Same thing as well. I remember many members when they first joined, they were saying, what would we do in an Advanced Toastmaster Club, the like of DTM Ratinder, the like of DTM Ahmed Rizvi, the like of DTM Ali Shahbaz, and so on. Let me tell you one small story, and I will try to make it short. 3 years ago, I was going into a contest, a physical contest. And I remember the chief sergeant there was DTM Alex Hanete, who was, I think, also one of the founder members of this club. I went there, DTM, and the past governor of a district. What would he do being a chief sergeant at arms? I went there and I said, DTM Alex, I mean, why chief sergeant at arms? He said something that I could not really comprehend by then. He said, when you reach whatever I reached, you need to go back to the basics. You need to remember your humble beginnings. You need to remember humility. Now, I could not recognize what he said. That did not at all match with me looking at, as a newcomer in Toastmaster, looking at a DTM and a past governor of District 20. Years passed, and I was asked the same question when I took the Chief Sergeant of for DTAC last year. They said, well, Division B Director, you are nominated for CGD. What would you do for Chief Sergeant at Arms? And I remember, I reflected back to DTM Alex, what he said. It's all about humility. Yes, we become what we become. We become DTMs. We become CGDs, Division Director, immediate RA. We have Region 11 advisor here. We have DTM Ahmed Rizvi, who has been here for 30 years, maybe more, DTM Ratinder. What's in it for those people who are here in this club? What are they doing here? It's all about those going back to humble beginning. It's all about humility of the learning. There is no age for you to come and say, well, I reached enough, and this is me, I'm DTM, and I'll stop learning. Learning never continues. So this is going back to you, AD Emelda. Regardless of who you see here, we are all just Toastmasters. We are all learning, and that's why we are here to grow ourselves and to grow all of us together in Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club. That's why we are doing it in style. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I have two more guests I can see in front of me before moving on to the business session. May I have DTM Khalid? Wow, two DTM Khalid in one place.
Yeah, you can have me. What do you want to do with me, though? Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, I actually joined because I just received a link from Dr. Thoraya, and I couldn't resist because I am doing actually a Colombo role today. This is where I find people I look for everywhere and I cannot find them. And here I find them. Faraz Farouk, DTM Rizvi, Zulfikar Ali Bahrainwala, Ratinder, and many others. So you guys have all of them are here. I'm so happy I'm here also. Back to you, Mr. President.
We are so happy, DTM Khalid, to have you here. And by the way, you can be here for long as well, longer enough.
By the way, I didn't say my name because now in Zoom, the name is written there. So nobody has to, they actually pronounce their names. Thank you. Thank you.
We all know you, DTM Khalid, even if you don't write your name. Thank you so much for joining us. And we have Toastmaster Enosh. Please, Toastmaster Enosh, Mr. President, in a few hours from now as well.
Thank you, President and District 20, CGD, DTM Khalid Abdullah. Wow, thank you so much for the invitation. And I will also recognize the presence of immediate past President of Region 11, DTM Ali Shabazz Ali. And as I scroll down over here, I see a lot of familiar names. Being in a technological industry, they have something what we call it as one-stop solution for services. Now I feel that BAT has become like a one-stop place for all recognized stalwarts of Toastmasters, DTM Ahmed Rizvi, and I'm sure the flowers blooming behind DTM Faraz Farouk as well. Way back in Singapore, in Sri Lanka. Nice to see all the familiar faces. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm here to support our VPE, Toastmaster Jeannie as well. She's the accountant for today. So thank you so much, President, and wish you all the best for the entire meeting and looking forward to it as well. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Enosh, for joining us here today. We're really enriched by having that many guests today. The meeting is really enriched. Let me move on to the business session. And I request the officers to keep it short because we are a little bit behind time. First officer, may I call on I don't see our Sergeant she is not here, but I can tell you that our stock and inventory, and I think thanks to the Zoom, not much needs to be organized when it comes to logistics, but she would be, inshallah, joining us very soon, and she would help us in moderating the Zoom. She has been sending the certificates, of course, to winners whenever we have any meeting. Moving on to our treasurer. Okay, that's an apology, Mr. Secretary, if you can mark that, because he apologized. Now I remember. He said that he cannot make it because he is busy with another contest today. But I can tell you that 10 members renewed in the clubs, and we request all other members to please pay their renewals. It's just 18 BD, never been as cost effective as it is right now for Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster meetings. Mr. Secretary, I missed you and I missed the minutes of the meeting at the beginning. I apologize for that. I was rushing in. Could you please, very, very short. I know that you are very detailed, mashallah, in reading minutes of meeting, but let's just make it very short. And before that, do we have a quorum?
Yes, we have a quorum, Mr. President. We have 11 members and 16 guests. We have all the quorum.
Great.
Very good. Can I start?
Yes, yes, please. Keep it short.
Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, the club contest was held on 16 January, was opened by the Sergeant-at-Arms Toastmaster Ali Madan. He was assisted by Toastmaster Hussein Al-Khatib and Mr. Toastmaster Ghulam Farooq Khadir. The Sergeant-at-Arms introduced the club president, DTM Khalid Abdullah. The president spoke about the contest, welcomed all the guests, and wished all the best to the contestants. Toastmaster Ali Madan, as the moderator, read the general contest rules. Table topics contest. Toastmaster Ali Madan handed over the contest chair to the contest chair, DTM Ahmed Rizvi. The contest chair then briefed on the contest rules. The contestants, Toastmaster Faraz Farooq, Ratinder Nath, Vidad Hijazi, and Pitambaran Nair, were moved to the breakout room. After the conclusion of the table topics contest, DTM Ahmed Rizvi moved on to the next contest. The next contest was evaluation speech contest. DTM Ahmed Rizvi, as contest chair for the evaluation speech contest, briefed the contestants on the rules of the contest. The test speech was presented by Toastmaster Reem Matthew. A 5-minute preparation time was given to contestants. The contestants were Toastmaster Pitambaran Nair, Faraz Farooq, Vidad Hijazi, and Ratinder Nath. At the end of the speeches, the contest chair concluded the meeting and handed over to the next contest chair. The humorous speech contest, DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali was the contest chair of the humorous speech contest. He briefed the audience on the contest rules. Toastmasters Pitambaran Nair, Toastmaster Faraz Farooq made their speeches. The contest chair concluded the contest and moved on to the next contest. The next contest was international speech contest, and DTM Ali Shahbaz as contest chair again briefed the audience and the contestants on the contest rules. The contestants were Toastmaster Pitambaran Nair and Toastmaster Faraz Farooq. After the end of the contest chair handed over control to the president, DTM Khalid Abdullah. President made his general comments regarding the contest. He thanked all the role players, chief judge, Toastmaster Manjula Nagendra, and a team of judges. The timers, Toastmaster Nagendra Sitaraman and Ahmed Arif. Tally counters, Toastmaster Jatinder Kaler and DTM Zara Al Mukharrak. The contest chair then announced the winners of the contest as given below. Evaluation contest, first place Toastmaster Faraz Farooq. Second place, Ratinder Nath. Third place, Toastmaster Vidad Hijazi. Table topics contest, first place, Toastmaster Faraz Farooq. Second place, Toastmaster Ratinder Nath. Third place, Toastmaster Vidad Hijazi. Humorous speech contest, Toastmaster Faraz Farooq was first place and Toastmaster Pitambaran Nair was placed second. International speech contest, Toastmaster Pitambaran Nair was placed first and Toastmaster Faraz Farooq second. The president made his closing remarks and ended the contest meeting after thanking all the participants, guests, and the members. And he wished all the contestants all the best for the next levels of contest. Mr. President.
Wow, thank you so much, DTM Ratinder. There is only one amendment, DTM Ratinder, I just noticed. The president, by that time, I started as the president, but then because I was busy with the other training for the trials, so the president, I assumed, was DTM Parhaz at the end of it. He took over at the end.
Okay, that will be noted down.
Great. Is there any other amendments to the minutes? Okay, I hear none. Who propose the minutes?
Mr. President, DTM, I propose that the minutes are in order subject to that amendment you have said.
Great. Who would second that, please?
I, Toastmaster Pidambaran, second the motion to adopt the minutes of the meeting with the put up amendments.
With the amendments, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pidambaran. Great. Let's move on to the next officer who is in line waiting for her turn. DTM Zahra.
Mr. President, good afternoon. Fellow Toastmasters, good afternoon to you all. I would like just to update you on the PR report. We're working on the club newsletter, and hopefully it will be published by next month. So still you have a chance for those who couldn't make it, who couldn't share with me their articles. Please, there's still a chance. I'll be waiting until next week. And I would like to remind you with the club social media accounts, we do have, yes, a YouTube channel where we are live now on YouTube. And of course, all the OIG, the oldest gold sessions are there as well. Last but not least, I would like to remind you that in case you missed any OIG session, the links are there in our websites as well. And you can check the posters in order to know if you missed any, or if you're looking for any specific workshop, it will be there. That's all from my side. And back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, DTM Zahra, for being the face of Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club throughout. She has been working so hard behind the scene, and I think let's give her a round of applause, DTM Zahra. Thank you so much. Yes, sometimes I become picky and hard on you sometimes, but yeah, thank you so much. Moving on to Vice President of Membership. At that time, I could not see DTM Said Abbas. Is he around? Yeah, I can't see him. Okay. So far, we added 2 members this term, Toastmaster Farouk and Toastmaster Pidambaran. Currently, we are 19 members. We are targeting the Talk Up Awards by inviting Toastmasters and non-Toastmasters. And our OIG right now is the flagship that we've been using to have more members. Without mentioning names, but I've seen many of the ideas that we presented in the OIG implemented elsewhere. So that's the impact that we have. It's not just about membership, but it's about as well the flagship of being an advanced Toastmaster club. And I think we are managing to do that. Next, our Vice President of Education, DTM Farhaz.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Dear Toastmasters, guests, very quick update from my side. March is going to be a very, very busy month for Bahrain Advanced. On the 6th of March, we have the next in the series of the Oldest Gold, and we have 3 dashing speakers lined up. We will be putting out the flyers soon. And the good news is even the April OIG is already arranged. So stay tuned for that. March 20th will be our next regular meeting. In the middle, the second Saturday, March 13th, we are going to organize a joint meeting with a club far, far away. I'm not going to tell you who that is right now. We have done a lot of work in the background, and that will be announced in due course. Please stay tuned, and we'll be really, really honored to have everybody visit that meeting as well. Importantly, also on the 12th of March is the Division B contest, and there will be contestants representing Bahrain Advanced and our Area 15 at the Division B. So I urge everybody to please make a note of the day and be there to support our champions, our club, as well as our area champions to move beyond that. On the education goals, Mr. President, we are very well under control. We just have to get 4 level 1s and 1 level 2 in order to get all 6 points. We need, out of the level 1s, Toastmaster Vidad is well on her way to getting that for us. Just a couple more assignments and she would be done. We will need to make sure 3 others are in place. I am working towards a level 1 in my new free path. And so therefore, I am going to consider myself as one of those, and I will need to work with 2 more of our members to try and get that level 1 sorted out. For level 2, I'm sure we can push Toastmaster Vidad to finish her level 2 by June. And with that, we should be okay with the 6 DCP goals as far as education is concerned. Thank you so much. And over to you, Mr. President. That's my report.
Thank you so much, DTM Farhaz. And I think I would definitely, there is no words to describe all of the efforts that you've been doing in this club. There is no hats off, I would say egal off for all of your effort, DTM Farhaz. I think you've been really instrumental during this term. Thank you so much. As you can see, we are almost there in getting our 10th DCP. We just need to have 6 members, 3 more to finish their level 1, 1 more for level 2, and DTM Farhaz, you can put my name for level 1. So you have someone else as well targeting level 1. Great. So before we end the business session, is there any other business? Toastmaster Pitambaran, I can see you're raising your hand.
No, I raised my hand in support of the level 1. I can contribute. That's what I got.
Okay, DTM Farhaz, you have more now to come. Great, great. I think we will attain that very soon. Any other business?
Mr. President?
Yes, DTM.
Could you give us the first letter of the country with which we are having joint meeting at least so we can get more?
Well,
Mr. President, please. I think the honor should go to our VPPR, Madam VPPR, the first letter only of the country, of the other club. Say it, Madam. You can say it.
M. Oh, it's Mauritius.
Could be Mauritania. Could be Mongolia.
Morocco, maybe.
Morocco, there you go. See, lots of exotic destinations.
Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Could be Malaysia too.
Melbourne, Australia.
Great, great. So I hear no other business. So with this, I call the business session to closed. And let's move on to our meeting now. We have one eager person who is waiting for us to just jump in for the meeting itself. The Master of Ceremonies today is one of the newest members in our club. But the energy that he has been shown, not just in Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club, but in all of the clubs that he has been member of, I hope that he would continue as CGD in all of the members, all of the clubs. But that's another topic for another day. He picked one of the very much successful themes for Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club, unconditional love. Unfortunately, DTM Said Abbas is not here. This is one of his favorite topics. We have been laughing on this for years. But he would add to his own flavor. So we are all eager to hear from our Master of Ceremonies. Toastmaster Pitambaran, please help me welcome Toastmaster Pitambaran to sail the ship for today's meeting. Toastmaster Pitambaran, take it away with love.
Thank you, President. Good evening, BAT members, Toastmasters around the world. Are you so excited to be loud? Yes, it is. So what I learned that love is the strongest or the most important 4-letter word, which makes the strongest even to the weakest at times. From love, when we move to unconditional love, the first preference goes to our mother. Everyone will agree with me on that, I believe. But our BAT members, they are not always, not just with mother's love. There are members who love their pets. There are members who prefer food over anything else. Whether it is love, peace, Kalivalli, food is more important thing for them. So, and there are members who wished not to disclose the love. See, someone is even preparing. So let me just don't want to go with the way what I was thinking, because it's already 10 minutes late. So let me get into the task first. We have a CCTV today. Everyone says this Toastmaster is a new Toastmaster to bat, but I don't really agree. And that Toastmaster, the beauty of that Toastmaster, what I like the most is who believes love is pure emotions, care, and devotion. Who loved her toy Sonia more than anyone else in her childhood. A great fan of Kalthum's songs, though she forget it because nowadays no fight at home. Join me in welcoming the General Evaluator, Toastmaster Vidad Hijazi. Toastmaster Vidad Hijazi.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Thank you for the nice introduction. Well, today I'll be the General Evaluator with Unconditional Love for our meeting today. And the purpose of my role today is to evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting. During the meeting, I will take notes of everything that happens and the things that don't happen. I will evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look for good examples of preparation. So be ready for that. Good examples of preparation, organization, delivery, enthusiasm, observation, and performance of duties. And maybe today we will look for some unconditional love expressions, acts, or whatever you would like to do. I will not do this by myself. Actually, I have a team who will help me. And this team begins with the grammarian. I have a grammarian, I have a counter and the timer. And I leave it for the Toastmaster to introduce it. At the end of the meeting, I will give my report. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome to our meeting for today.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Vidad Hijazi. Next in queue is a Toastmaster who believes that warp and woof of any language is its grammar. And today we blessed to have an epitome of eloquence to carry out this role as the grammarian. A past area and division governor, current president, current area director, what more? More importantly, the district gavel counselor, whose passion of love is all about care and compassion. Join me in welcoming today's grammarian, DTM Ahmad Rizvi. DTM Rizvi. You are muted.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, for that magnificent introduction. Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and most distinguished guests, and immediate past regional advisor, DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali. Good afternoon to you all. Today, my role as grammarian has two tasks to perform. That is, one is to introduce a word of the day and to monitor the language and observe quotations, phrases, and good words usage during the meeting by the speakers. First, let me introduce today is with the wordings which goes unconditional love. I chose a word a little bit uncommon, but can be used. It is anodyne. I will put in the chat also, anodyne, anodyne, which is almost as an adjective, not likely to cause offense, or disagreement. When you have unconditional love, yes, you should not have any offense and disagreement. And also, as a noun, it is a pain-killing drug or medicine, anodyne. It's a Greek word or a Latin word which has become a word anodyne now, an adjective and a noun, something like relieves pain. Since it has sometimes been used things that dull or lull the sentences and render painful experiences. Today, I thought I would also, for the first time, introduce as a grammarian what I call idiom of the day as well, so that we will see our speakers can incorporate that idiom as well. The idiom of the day for today is cream of crop. Cream of crop, and we have so many cream of crops in our Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters, especially our president. He has been moving around Angels Toastmasters and all these ladies Toastmasters, and he has become a cream of crop in Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters. So like that, we have so many examples. So let us see whether we can use this idiom of the day as well, incorporating into our speeches during our editorial topics, etc. And I wish all the best to all the Toastmasters and speakers. Over to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, DT Mohammed Lutfi. In fact, you are the cream of the crop. That's the reason you introduced this technology to this way into our club too. Moving to the next role player. I must say, a truly international Toastmaster. Reason being is, born in Saudi Arabia, grown up in India, now in Bahrain. An administrator by profession, who still holds good memories of her childhood crush and always laugh when see her mom. This Toastmaster believes love is more powerful than peace because peace is the byproduct of love. Join me in welcoming our art counter for today, Toastmaster Ginny Johara. Toastmaster Ginny.
Hi, good evening to all Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the day, and very valuable guests. So myself, Ginny Johara, I will be the art counter for today's meeting. The purpose of our counter is to note the word sound that are used as crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen to the overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen to filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase, such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I'll report the number of times each speaker used these expressions. So I'm here to catch out the Queens and kings. So I wish all the best to all the speakers. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pitambar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ginny. Without monitoring time, even though we are late, we cannot move forward. So to do that, we have a multi-talented Toastmaster amongst us, who is an IT professional, a homemaker, mother of 2 lovely but naughty boys, and a budding Toastmaster herself, who even find time in clock precision to take up the hobbies of designing, travel, and photography. This Toastmaster believes that love leads to peace. Let me welcome Toastmaster Niaz Fatima, the timer of this evening. Toastmaster Niaz Fatima, could you please explain?
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, for the lovely introduction. Good evening, Mr. President, TMOD, fellow Toastmasters and dignitaries. One of the skills we Toastmasters practice is expressing a thought within a specific time. As a timer, I will remind, record, and report the time used by each speaker when they are delivering their speeches. This will also help in ensuring that the meeting runs on time. To do this, I have 3 colored virtual backgrounds. I will share the green background when the speaker hits qualifying time. I will share the yellow background when the speaker hits the target time. And I will share the red background when the speaker has reached end of their allotted time. Here is the time criteria for each category. For the table topics, the allotted time is 1 to 2 minutes. I share green background at 1 minute, yellow background at 1.5 minutes, and red background at 2 minutes. For an evaluation speech, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes, green background at 2 minutes, yellow background at 2.5 minutes, and the red background at 3 minutes. Today, we don't have icebreaker speech. Let's move on to 5 to 7 minute speeches. I share the green background at 5 minutes, yellow background at 6 minutes, and red background at 7 minutes. We have one 8 to 10 minute speech today. So I'll share the green at 8 minutes, yellow at 9 minutes, and red at 10 minutes. Speakers and evaluators are allowed to cut their speech 30 seconds short or go 30 seconds above the allotted time. For the table topics, there will be a 30 seconds grace time on the upper side of the speech. No indications will be given for the overtime. If there is any technical issues, I will share the color cards instead of the virtual background. I will present my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Back to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Niaz Fatma, for wonderfully explaining the timing criteria to all the speakers, members, and guests. Ladies and gentlemen, this next 30 minutes gives us lots of insight on anything and everything around us. Today, we have a pool of reputed speakers to make this evening more worthy. The first speaker for today is DTM Zahra Al-Mukarak. To evaluate DTM Zahra's speech, we have DTM Thuraiya Juma. DTM Thuraiya Juma. DTM Thuraiya. Are you there?
Yes. I'm here. I thought you are going to say a few words about me, but
No,
then I'm here.
Because you didn't give me an intro, so you have a challenge from my side.
Oh, okay. No issue. No issue.
Okay.
Thank you.
What is the coolest behavior you look for in your best friend?
Wow. That's a challenging question, and it's difficult to answer it on the spot. So I will move on to the evaluation.
Okay, then who is that best friend? Who is that best friend? Can we know that?
That I'm prepared to keep it a secret.
Great, great. Then let the secret remain secret. You may go with the speech objectives, please.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, fellow Toastmaster, and honorable guest. A wonderful afternoon to all of you. And here the objective for our speaker today, Toastmaster Zahra, who is attempting Project 4, Level 4 from Strategic Relationships Path. The purpose of this speech is for the members to practice the skills needed to effectively use public relations strategies for any group or situation. Also, to share some aspect of her public relations strategy. The speaker will deliver a well-organized speech about real or hypothetical public relations strategy, and she should be informational, but it may include humor and visual aids. The speech should be engaging and should not be a report on the content of the public relations strategies. The timer, please note that the speech timing is 5 to 7, and let us all wish our speaker for today, DTM Zahra, all the best. By that, back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, DTM Thuraiya. Though you didn't answer my question, I must thank you for reading the objective very clearly and precisely.
End of the meeting.
Coming to the speaker, yes, there is time for that. DTM Zahra believes that love is respect and help. Who loves her sister Sarah more than anyone else in the world. It's not your cousins alone, DTM Zahra. We do believe that your siblings are so lucky to have you as a sister. Let me invite DTM Zahra Al-Mukarrab with a speech titled Positive Relationship. Positive Relationship, DTM Zahra Al-Mukarrab. The floor is yours.
If you are a VPPR, raise your hand. If you were a VPPR, raise your both hands. If you're planning to take this position in the future, thumbs up with a smile. Master of Ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, good evening to you all. PR strategy. It's the practice of the VPPR to create, promote, and maintain a positive relationship and to create a positive image of a club, organization, or an individual. In Toastmasters organization, we have a position called VPPR, Vice President of Public Relations. And this person will generate the positive relationship. This person will maintain a good relationship. This person will bring the awareness of the Toastmaster branding and Toastmaster benefits as well in order to attract and maintain the club members. Last year, I decided to run for the VPPR position for the club. I'm a very passionate designer. In the day of election, I was nominated to be the club president. It was a lovely year, but still, I love the VPPR more. And this year, I managed to be the VPPR for Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club. It is the first advanced club in the Middle East. Most of the district leaders, most of District 20 directors were from the club. It is a big challenge. Fellow Toastmasters, today I would like to share with you my strategy as a VPPR. We as a VPPRs, we have to set the strategy to promote and maintain a positive relationship with all the members and of course, with all the other clubs. So if you will set the strategy, you have to ask yourself 5 questions. What? Why? Who? How? And where? The first question is what? What is a PR strategy? It is the positive image that you will create about your club or about yourself. Then, why do I have to have it? Why do I have to set the strategy? It's your responsibility as a VPPR to set this strategy. Number 1, you have to market all the special events. You have to market the great achievements done by the members and of course the club as well. Then, who? As a club, we are targeting all adults, both genders, and of course, all nationalities. We have here different nationalities in Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club. We have members from Lebanon, members from Jordan, members from Sri Lanka, and of course from Bahrain, and much more. Then, As a VPPR, how can you implement, how can you follow up and apply the strategies that you've learned and that you set to promote your club? If you are conducting a special events as a club, then why don't you do a press release? You can go and approach some of the newspaper. You can write articles to the magazines as well, of course, Toastmasters magazine, TV and radio. We've done this in Bahrain Advance when we conducted a special workshop, it was, or a special event for the World Champion of Public Speaking. And of course, when it was a special event there in the cinema theater, where we were all there watching the live streaming for the World Champion of Public Speaking. In order to promote it more, we approached some of the newspaper, we approached TV, and of course, Radio Bahrain. I cannot say how can we promote the club and how can we maintain a positive image without mentioning social media. I'm sure that we're all a social media user. We do have accounts and we're checking it every single day. We don't have just a social media account, but we have a club website, we have a club YouTube channel. This is our club YouTube channel called Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters. All the online meetings was done this year. It was there, uploaded there, and of course the special sessions and the special workshops as well. We do have a Facebook and Instagram channel. It's up to date. And we're trying to promote all the members' achievements and of course the club achievements. Moreover, we have a website called Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters. It is a Toastmaster website, and all the special events, even the previous events and special pictures are there, and of course, valuable information about Bahrain Advanced and Toastmasters International is available there. Fellow Toastmasters, if you are the VPPR, if you are planning to take this position in the future, or if you are trying to take this position in any other program, not just in Toastmaster or even at work, you have to set a strategy. While setting the strategy, ask yourself 5 questions. What, how, who, where, and which, and why. So fellow Toastmaster, creating a positive image is the core of PR strategy. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, DTM Zahra. What a wonderful way of finding a successor. And many were volunteered, in fact. That's something great. Now, before I move, we have a guest over here, DTM Hisham. DTM Hisham. DTM Hisham.
I think it's, yeah, he's here. DTM Hisham, or?
If not DTM, it's a Toastmaster Hisham.
No, he's a non-Toastmaster guest, Mr.
Oh,
Hisham.
okay, great.
Yeah, I don't know if you can
Definitely
hear.
we love to hear from Mr. Hisham.
Maybe just a hello, but I think
He is here. Mr. Hisham is here, but it's okay. I will find time to.
Dua as well. We have Dua since you. We have Dua as well. I haven't introduced earlier.
Fine. Okay.
Dua, are you around? Would you want to say a few words? Okay. You can continue.
Okay, we will catch them up in between.
Sure.
moving on to the next speaker. Next speaker in line is Toastmaster Ghulam Farooq Qadir. But to evaluate Toastmaster Ghulam's speech, we have Area 7 Director and who is a well-known face in Toastmaster fraternity in Bahrain. An accomplished speaker who works as Warranty Administrator and, you know, more interestingly, who loved his neighbor because of that way dancing. An angel of love who loved to be always in the presence of her husband and, of course, with his cousins and friends, with her cousins and friends. Let me invite Toastmaster Imelda to read out the speech objectives of the speaker, Toastmaster Ghulam Farooq. Toastmaster Imelda.
Good evening, Master of Ceremonies. Our speaker for today is going to deliver a speech titled Blame It on Hormones. And his objective or the purpose of his speech is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to his second speech. And he have 5 to 7 minutes. So all the best. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Imelda. This speaker is a business development consultant in IT. When I consulted what I have to say about love, he said love is all about zeros and ones. That is all the way I like IT guys reply always. And who love to define love as true love is when one is willing to give without expecting anything in return. Great. Join me in welcome Toastmaster Ghulam Farooq with a speech titled Blame It on Hormones. Blame It on Hormones, Toastmaster Ghulam Farooq. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. How many of you still vividly remember your teenage years and the years just before it? Yes, I mean when those pesky hormones started to kick in. Aha! I see some smiles, some loud ones and some silent ones, and some of the people I see them just rolling their eyes. Maybe they want to forget it, you know? Okay. Now, those with the smiles like myself, I think some of us have some good memories. Some of them have mixed memories, and some of them not so good ones. It appears these pesky hormones work differently for each one of us. You know, for some of us, they have brought us some good memories, but some of us became shy and introverted. Some of us became extroverted and everything. But what I noticed, one of the things was that for boys, it's a little different, you know, because for boys growing up is a little tough. And I think most of the males will agree with us because nobody really explains to us what is happening. And being emotional is a big no, you can't do that. Okay. So we resort to, you know, those suspicious books. You know what I'm talking about. And those other misguided males who have also learned it through some wrong way. And we get the wrong advice. But we learn from it. But the most important thing we learn from all of this one is to be brash and outgoing, because we can't appear to be weak. You know, we take a go and everything. We still have a one-upmanship on our friends. We go ahead and say, you did that. I did this more than you. Even if you feel hurt, you say, no. You know, when your teacher hit you on the back, you say, I didn't feel anything. I was just acting. So this is how we act. This is how, because we are not guided properly. But for girls, on the other hand, Even they have some reliable sources and guides, to guide them in the process, but they also don't have it easy for them. Because why? Suddenly they were normal and suddenly they are asked to be demure and anodyne-like, not to cause offense to anybody. And this is where some of the freedom and fun activities are becoming restricted to them. But some of them also, I know, silently rebel. And they try to get some fun out of other people. How do they do that? Now, as being for myself, I cannot speak of the other people. So I'll share my experiences. But let me give you a warning as in the movies. What I'm about to share is a little bit exaggerated for the sake of audience. And the names, if I name them, are changed to protect the innocent. Mostly the innocent is myself. I'm the innocent guy, just remember that, okay? So as a teenage boy, there are two things on my mind growing up, as I think most of us know, being in the in group, being the alpha guy, and the other thing is girls. Those were the two things on my mind personally that I was there, okay? And for me, as I would get to, you see, I was a curious boy for a lot of things, and I was curious for a lot of things to understand. So for me, being an alpha male was not enough. I started to believe in quantity of love over quality of love. And this got me into a lot of trouble, especially in school with all the reports that came in, beating up other guys and sharing some, not so nice letters with the opposite sex. And these reports came to my father. And my father would calm down and say, look, he's doing good in studies. This is just a phase. Blame it on the hormones. Everybody gets, and he made the matter go around. Now, what his incident made me was a little more brash and wild, because I suddenly felt I had a supporter at home and I could blame it on the hormones, everything. And this got me more wilder, and I did a lot of things and I played with a lot of things. But don't worry about that. I don't have any regrets that as much as anybody else would feel so. Because why? My belief in quantity, even though I broke a lot of hearts and perhaps in the mind of a lot of boys, I was a bully, but it gave me a lot more bigger perspective on the human nature and the human psyche, for that matter. And that helped me a little bit later on in life, but I realized that later when I grew up, okay? And one of the things I understood was for the females that I had interacted with, even though they interacted with me and friends with me, the real reason they were with me was because I was wild, was because they really thought of me as a surrogate where they can experience the wild side of things. Now, when I finished school, I went to college. For the 2 years, my wild side still continued. But that's when my father gave me the most fabulous piece of advice that I could remember. He came and said, look, son, whatever I told you, you have to, now you are 20, under 20 being wild was okay. But once you reach the age of 20, you have to start taking responsibility and laying down the foundations of your life. Because this is the core years that you will work with and everybody will know you by these years. And then he told me one fabulous piece of advice that I still remember. He said, blaming it on hormones is the biggest lie that anybody can tell. It's a myth. It's nothing about hormones. It's really about the company you keep and how that company allows that company to mold you. That's really it. And that's what you have to learn. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing about hormones. Why do you think people are different? Because they learn how to control themselves. And that is what you do. And that was the most fabulous piece of advice that I took. And he said, choose your company wisely, companions very carefully. And I did that. And that's how I am today. But to be honest, sometimes I still feel that I could go back to those old days and still act wild and blame it on hormones. Don't you all of us do that? But remember, now is the time to be mature and understand that love is really to be faithful, and to give something without expecting anything in return. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gulam. Not just to blame on hormones alone. Yeah, that's great. And in fact, love is a real anodyne for many of the hormones which distract you at times. Before I proceed, may I request the audience to switch on the video, because it's a contest time, so everyone is having a habit of keeping the videos off. Please, yeah, some improvements. Yes, Mr. Hisham Bukawa, are you there? Mr. Hisham Bukawa? Fine, no issues. We will catch up.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Hisham, we love to hear
Hello.
from you. Sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I am here. Thank you for your invitation for this group. It's my first time on Toastmaster. I participate in this group.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you can hear.
Okay. So hope you are enjoying this evening.
Wallah, alhamdulillah, it's very knowledgeable. I see everybody participate with a different subject. But alhamdulillah, and soon, inshallah, I'll be participating. I'm just a listener at the moment. Thank you for your invitation. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you, in fact, DTM Ali Shahbaz, for inviting such wonderful personalities to our meeting today.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dr.
Thank you,
Ali,
Mr.
also. I'm still with you online. I'll be listening. Thank you, dear. Okay.
Sure, sure.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Bitambaran, we have also Nadia Kadam.
Yes, Nadia Kadam. Nadia Kadam. Apologies if I spelled it wrong.
No, it's okay. Qadoum is
Okay,
more
Qadoum. Fine.
Qadoum. Nice to have you.
Wish to hear from you.
Great to be here.
Okay, okay. Fine. Moving to the next speaker. But before I introduce the speaker, I love to introduce the evaluator. He's a hardcore fan of Bollywood movies and still remember the Asrani effect of Sholay movie of the jailer role, which keeps him even laugh now. Just look at his face. He may be laughing now even. I don't want to tell who it is. Who believes love is an attribute of Almighty, but prefer to go over peace and love has nothing to do with when he finds food. A foodie, in fact, and who divert diplomatically the fight at home by asking for a cup of tea, especially Colombo tea. Put your hands together to welcome DTM Faraz Farooq, the evaluator for our next speaker, DTM Ali Shahbaz. DTM Farooq.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster. Please, you're always welcome for a cup of tea whenever you're passing by this way. Speaker DTM Ali is attempting the Inspire Your Audience project. It's a 5 to 7 minute speech, and the objective of the speech is for the speaker to try and inspire the audience by using either an engaging or an entertaining or a moving speech. And at the end, his aim is to try to get the audience to adopt a new perspective and a new thinking. Our speaker is an anodyne speaker. He's a cream of the crop speaker. And I am sure at the end, all of us are going to be inspired. I look forward to a great speech. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster. I wish the speaker all the best.
Thank you. Thank you, DTM Farooq. Now, DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali. We all have been hearing multiple ways of introducing this distinguished Toastmaster. But I wish to introduce this Toastmaster that he was May I ask everyone to unmute? Sorry, keep your mic muted, please. Fine. Let me continue with this. DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali, whose pet, the black cow or the black stallion, was the one he most loved throughout his childhood. And of course, loved to roam around with his cousins because he loves the company of cousins more than anything else, who wish to have peace over love, and more importantly, a kind-hearted man, what as far as I know. Let me introduce DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali with a speech titled, Why So Serious? Why So Serious? DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. Before I begin, just want to do a mic check. 1, 2, 3. Am I audible? I got disconnected 3 times. That's the reason. Thank you very much. Have you, Toastmasters, and our guest came across a time in your life where maybe you're just sitting and watching TV with the remote in your hand, or driving car, sitting with friends in a coffee shop, and all of a sudden your mind diverts to something which is your build-up imagination. You start thinking, what will happen 5 years from now at my job? Will I actually get married to somebody I love? Or will someone come in my life? Or what if someone loves me right now and leaves me tomorrow when I have no money with me? Have such thoughts ever come in your mind which are not existing at the moment, but it disturbs you and takes you away from the crowd for a minute? You can write yes or no in the chat, no need to give details. Let's see how many yes comes in.
I think DTM Ali's internet connection is now thinking
Yes.
of the
Give
same
him a
problem.
big no.
We'll just give him a couple of minutes because he's been having troubles with his connection.
How many knows? Ways. A businessman
I thought he was waiting for our yeses or no's.
I think VPPR can take a picture of DTM Ali sitting in this position.
Great.
That's okay. I mean, these things happen.
I think he's back.
Yes, back.
No.
I think he got upset that DTM Zahara said no. This is, you VPPR and you give bad PR for him. I think he'll just log back in. That's probably better when this happens to the connection. In the meantime, maybe we
He's here. He's back. He's back.
Ah, great.
DTM Ali? He's back, but not back. I can see him. He is also unmuted.
You got a magical pair of eyes because we all can see a black screen, but you can see him.
That's the power of being CGD, man. You become CGD and you will get the same power.
Yes, no one can see. You can continue, DTM Ali Shehbaz.
DTM Ali, we lost you when we were saying yes, yes, no, no.
I think maybe he
He's
can
still
hear us.
stuck.
Yeah, he's stuck. Yeah, still stuck.
That's okay.
Maybe we can move on to the next speaker and then
Yes.
Yeah,
Until he
I guess
sorts
we'll
out.
move on to the speaker and then we'll come back. That's okay.
Yes, Master Ceremony.
Over to you, Mr. Master.
I will call him meanwhile.
Okay, perfect, perfect. The next speaker is Toastmaster Lakshmi Sandoshi. Toastmaster Lakshmi Sandoshi, first let me check your audio video. Are you there?
Yes.
Yes, great. And the evaluator, can I hear from you your voice? At least I can see you. Your audio is perfect.
Yes, we are.
Okay, fine. So to evaluate Toastmaster Sandoshi's speech, we have
who?
Toastmaster DTM Radindranath. DTM Radindranath, are you there?
Yes, sir. Very much here in front of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And this evaluator, Toastmaster, is filled with lots of love, but don't know how to express it at times. He said to me, the macho man of BAT, let me hear from this evaluator. Please read out the objective, sir.
Mr. Toastmaster of the day and my fellow Toastmasters and our good speaker, Toastmaster Lakshmi Sandoshi. The speaker is from the project Lead in Any Situation. It's a level 5 project and this is our first speech. The purpose statements of to successfully lead in a volunteer organization. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of her experience as a leader for the impact of the 360-degree evaluation. Mr. Tiyamodi, the speech is for 8 to 10 minutes.
Thank you.
Back to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the speaker, Toastmaster Lakshmi Sandoshi, hails from Hyderabad, India. But this Toastmaster prefer toys over siblings and have a long-lasting crush with Ayush Mehra, a TV artist. Join me in welcoming Toastmaster Lakshmi Sandoshi with a speech titled, I Have Dreams Too, Save Me. I have dreams too, save me. Toastmaster Lakshmi Sandoshi.
Thank you, Tiyamodi. What is the most precious living thing in the world? What is the most precious living thing in the world?
Moms.
Exactly. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Can you even imagine me or even yourself with your mother? No, right? We are here because of our mothers, which shows how powerful we women are. But it's so disheartening to see that we women are not safe even in our mother's womb. Aborting or killing a girl child has been a common practice in many parts. Indian Minister shares 2,000 girls are killed across the country. Averagely, 88 girls are killed every day, with many slain before the death. But even after the birth, physical violence committed against the woman, typically by a man. And the worst thing is molestation, is the fourth most common practice against the woman in India. To control all these things, Indian government thought welfare of women and launched a scheme called Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. That means save a girl child and educate them. It was started in the year 2015 by our own Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji.
We humans have a slow tendency to understand, and many of us are not aware of that scheme. So we thought to bring the awareness about the scheme and educate them how important to save a girl's child, and even more important to teach the son to respect them. So we started OJAS in the year 2017. OJA is a Sanskrit word, which means strength, energy, ability, and the power. We started going to schools and colleges and made people aware of it. During the initial days, we used to have a lot of financial problems like getting funds for banners and posters. It was not a piece of cake to get the funds from the people in the initial stage. It took some time to build a proper network. We rolled out our social media. Somehow we get fans by sharing through that. While we were sharing all these things, there were many comments. Very few supported us, very few. And a lot criticized us. I was able to take all those things. I was irritated by them. Then my mom said, if anyone wants to know the real taste of sweetness, then they should first know what bitter is. I was surprised by her words. Then at that moment, I decided it might be anything. I will face. As a girl, I want to support all those girls. I want to become a voice for them. And also at that moment, I realized one more thing. We should even change the typical thoughts of people. And I understood how important to hold your thoughts is before we react. One day, we went to Narayana schools. We don't go inside without permission. We went to ask the permission from the head of the school. They welcomed us respectfully and asked us what the purpose was that we were there. We told them about OJAS, and after listening to the cause that we were there, they simply asked us to leave. I was blank for a while. Then I remembered that we should deal patiently. But here, patience won't work at all. Because you should realize what exactly happening outside those four walls. And I said, okay, let us leave. But before that, I would like to ask a question to you, sir. Just think for a while. A friend, a wife, a mother, a sister, a daughter. It might be anything. When you kill a girl, you kill many others. Just imagine. One of your loved ones facing any difficulty by typical man. Then what will you do? Won't you react? He couldn't answer it. He simply said, you may proceed. Yes, we can't speak anything at that moment because we all have a fear what society thinks. Why should we fear about them? Who they won't care, who won't support us when we are in the problems? Why should we think about them? I don't know why. We people always prefer society first. The girl won't commit any mistake, but she still should suffer for it. In that situation, while I was speaking to him, then I understood how leadership styles can be adopted to different situations. I started rising to challenges. Till now, we took small steps. Now it's time for us to take a big one. So then, we slowly thought of bringing the awareness by public speeches and conducting rallies. So once we started increasing our network and tied up with organizations, I supported the team. I supported them in a team environment by valuing the collaboration and cooperation at all the levels. Within 3 months, we got 1.5 lakhs for a bike rally. Now we are financially healthy and we are also having a good network. So we planned a rally on Women's Day. We all were excited and we considered the decisions organization before implementing anything. And I actively listened to others, ideas and perspectives. And then I started arranging all the things accordingly. With lots of interest and enthusiasm for the work to be completed, we motivated each other and allotted the times to complete the given task. We also designed t-shirts with logos and we invited some local leaders for giving the speeches and marketing for OJAS. Doing all those things, I provided a clear sense of purpose and direction, and I divided the responsibility to the team members. And I also managed the issues in an effective manner. While we were dividing the works, we got some conflicts, but I managed them effectively. As we were students and below 18, so we couldn't conduct a rally without a police security. So we reached out the superintendent of the police, and she helped us a lot. As I trusted my team, and we are all genuine to each other, everything went smoothly. Everyone says a leader should have integrity, communication, and gratitude, but what I feel is they are all secondary. The leader first should have a best team who supports and stands by her. Leader is not about a designation, it's about an impact and inspiration to create the more leaders. Yes, I have dreams to save me, and every girl will have a dream to save her. But these typical men are not letting them to safety. So what I feel always is, instead of educating a girl how to be, first educate a boy to respect her. Then everything will be perfect. Thank you. Over to TM.
Thank you, Toastmaster Doshi, for such a wonderful speech. DTM Ali Shahbaz.
Mr. MC, I'm logged in from my phone, and I think that would be better than any other connection. Sorry about that.
And you look more handsome now.
Oh, thank you. I wish I took your advice a few years earlier.
So you can continue your speech, and where you left your speech was yes, yes, no, no. From there, you can continue.
I think he better start because it was hardly any time.
Okay, fine.
Start.
Fine. Okay.
Thank you.
Ali Shahbaz.
Thank you very much, our amazing Master of Ceremonies, for the wonderful introduction earlier. Now, since you all have heard the beginning, I would still repeat that, but I have some limitations on interaction. However, we all come to such a situation in life, maybe weekly, maybe monthly basis, where we are lost in different thoughts, lost about thoughts of uncertainty, thoughts on future, thoughts on what will happen tomorrow, after a year. And this is very common. It's quite abnormal if we don't go through those thought cycles. Now, the problem is, why so serious? For some people, they take it so seriously that these ocean of thoughts showers a lot of unmerciful pain on their life. While in my leadership journey, while talking to different leaders, different members, different people from the community, different backgrounds, I have realized that these are kind of internal and external disturbances where we feel why these shower of thoughts on us becomes good, bad, and ugly at times. So I came up with my own thing, which is internal and external. Now let's start with something what's external. When these thoughts comes to us, that's very normal. When it becomes worse is at times when we have these external forces doing that to us. Have you ever heard of underminers? Who has heard of underminers? Now, underminers are some good people around you who you think are good, but actually they are bad. Now, why they are bad? Because they might come to you as your friends, your co-workers, and sometimes you think they love you. It can be school friends, it can be college friends, it can be at any stage of life. Even when we say we have all the experiences in life, we can still be attacked by an underminer. So they go something like this. You feel they stand for you, but they actually put you down. It's something like they tell you, you know what, in a funny way, out of all the weirdos, you were the less weirdo, and that's why I picked you, or that's why I became your friend. And sometimes you did quite good for your educational level. Sometimes even in Toastmasters, or be it any other organization, if you won a prize, you won a contest, they would come and say, was that really you who won the contest? Oh my God, I can just not believe it. Was it really you? How did you do it? But these are kind of underminers. Sometimes they come and tell you, nice jacket. Where was the sale, by the way? So you get confused. You get confused. Is this person praising me, or is this person putting me down? Whenever you feel there is a confusion when you deal with such people who might be around you, and they will be so smart that you won't know they are underminers. You will take them so seriously, and they keep attacking you without leaving any evidence or proof that they are doing it purposely. But the catch here is, when you get confused about such personalities, when your thoughts process starts going at a speed of F1, then is a problem. It's not a normal speed of thoughts. So you need to understand these kind of people whom they call energy vampires at times. Now, there are internal forces also which increases this thought cycles. For example, one head of the districts from one of the districts I was dealing with told me, Ali, you know what? We had an ExCom meeting, and one of the officers asked me the reimbursement in front of everybody. So I'm so upset about it. I told this district officer, why are you upset? This was years back from now. I tried to understand what made you upset. Now, for non-Toastmasters in the room, I'm talking about, take it something like a board meeting where one of the director questioned the CEO. It's the same scenario. And the CEO got upset why the director questioned me about money matters. So in Toastmasters, we have the same setup as well. So I told this head of the district that they are just doing their job. They just asked for reimbursement, and that's the place to ask for reimbursement. So the head told me, no, the way he asked in front of everybody, I said, you don't expect him to ask you for your money when you're in the washroom, right? So it's a boardroom, they're going to ask you for the money. And that's when the head of the district actually understood. Then another scenario, once I was picked up by a district officer. I was supposed to be in the hotel. I spent 2 hours with the officer under the hotel in the car park talking about his frustrated leadership life. After 2 hours, what I understood is the problem was not in anybody else. It was internal. Sometimes we don't need external underminers. We don't need energy vampires from the outside to come and do that to us. We do it to ourselves, and we need to work on that part. This is the thing. Why so serious? Emotions are like balloons at times. It can burst any times. We have to have control over them. Have you seen life of celebrities? They have everything. Some of them commit suicide. You really wonder, this person was a millionaire. Why did they commit suicide? That's the internal thing I'm talking about. Don't flow in that direction where it can cause you that speed up of thought process, and it becomes negative. Emotions are good, but we need to understand the external and internal problems. Internals are very dangerous. They are toxic, and they blanket our thoughts the way it's not supposed to be. The only solution to this is learn how to cut when it's external. Don't deal with such people. Learn to cut your thought cycle when it's internal. Listen to good music, pray, have a happy life, and attend Toastmasters meeting for a better life. Over to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, DTM Ali Shahbaz, for delivering such a wonderful speech. Truly inspiring, in fact. We need to identify the underminers and same time We need to cut our thoughts too. Thank you very much. Moving on to the next session is impromptu speaking. Table topic, DTM Khalid Abdullah. Are you there? Now I need to check everyone's audio, video things first.
I have to be here. Yes, I'm here.
Great, great. So now before you jump into the table topic, this Toastmaster always thought that standing in front of the girls' school, which is in front of his house, that is falling in love. So without doing anything, let me invite DTM Khalid Abdullah for our table topic master. DTM Khalid.
Thank you so much, Master of Ceremonies, for revealing all of these secrets. I would be happy to wait for more coming as well. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vitambaram, for being the cream of crops today for today's meeting. Let's remember as well, everyone, to use the word of the day and the idiom of the day, please. Great. So table topics. What is table topics for our guest? Table topics is a mini speech. I would give you a topic and you would come on a stage, well, on a virtual stage, and try to come up with a mini speech, introduction, body, and conclusion in 1 to 2 minutes. That's what table topics. You would be given a grace period of 30 seconds after those 2 minutes. Great. And my table topic looks like this way. You'll have to pick a number and receive your topic. So, before jumping in, do I have any cream of crops who would like to try the table topics today? Any volunteers?
Yes, I would like to go ahead, Deepak.
Okay, Toastmaster Deepak. Great. Thank you so much for jumping in. Pick a number.
Number 1.
Number 1. Your topic is, when is love a weakness? I would repeat, when is love a weakness? Toastmaster Deepak, floor is yours. Remember to pin the timer, who's Toastmaster Nias. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Deepak.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, DTM Khalid, for this wonderful topic. When is love a weakness? Love is, I strongly agree with this particular statement. Having said that, love is a weakness when you love somebody and you fall into, for example, if you love your child, if you love your son, and if something happens to him, then you are in pain. If something, or you keep thinking about that particular, if he's sick or something, you cannot focus on your other activities, and that can be considered as a weakness. But at the same time, this is not a really weakness here, in my opinion. This is something which is, it is more than a love. It's more than a care. So to be in love, to care about something, we cannot say it's actually a weakness. It's actually a love for your child or your parents or your partner or your friend. So love, in a way, cannot be a weakness. Love is something which is very, very strong. Love is something which makes you move towards your goal. Love is something which makes you happy. And love is something which may make you sad also. But you know that with your love, you will be able to come out of that particular sadness. You will be able to pull that person out of that situation because of which you are feeling sad. So this is a great force. This is something created by God, or it's whatever it is, it's created by a chemical reaction in your mind, whatever it is. It's a wonderful feeling, and I would not like to say it's actually a weakness. I would like to say actually a love is a strength. In short, in my opinion, love is always a strength. Love is always a great. Love is always a happiness. Temporarily, you may feel love is a weakness or not a strength, but it's a very temporary feelings. Thank you very much. Over to you, DTM Khalid. Thank you.
Wow, wow. And see the Toastmaster love within you, Toastmaster Deepak. What a wonderful response. Thank you so much. We can see the responses in love unconditionally. Great. So moving on to the next commentator, who would take the second topic? Going once, going twice. I have someone in mind who is smiling right now. Okay, he stopped smiling. He's back to smile. Toastmaster KM Thomas, would you like to? Would you like to go for it?
Yes. Number
Great.
5.
Number 5. Your topic is it more important to love or be loved? I'll repeat. Is it important to love or be loved? ADKM Thomas, I remind you to pin the timer and floor is yours.
Timer, yeah, okay. Thank you, topic master. It is important to be loud or be loud. Correct? Be loud. I feel it is important to be loud because we are living in a very dangerous situation in this world. So suppose we don't want to be alone here. We don't want to be alone in this world. We need someone to take care of us, someone to be with us always, to share our love and care, and to always to ask about someone is there to, when we need someone to be there to take care of us. If it is no one is in the world, suppose living alone in a different world, that is a quite different thing. Suppose whenever I am going to feel alone somewhere else, I think that this is not the place I have to stay, but I have to go to the other side of the area and meet some of the friends. I would like to connect with friends always. If no one is coming and giving you love, it will be a very, very different situation. So giving love and giving love to the others, it is a very another one. But by the time every person, every human being to be loved, and they can share their love, what they're getting, share love with others. Back to table topic master.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
ADKM Thomas, what an anodyne response to the topic. Moving on to one more speaker. I don't think time would allow me to move on with the fourth speaker. So is there any volunteers? I have someone in mind. There is no volunteers. I would jump into that someone.
President Khalid, can I take one? I'll try.
Oh, yes, please shoot. You have 1 and 5 are taken.
1 and 5 are taken. I'll take number 6 then.
Number 6. Your topic is, what does love feel like?
And I have 30 seconds to think.
You can take 10 seconds, 15 seconds, yes. What does love feel like? Toastmaster Sadia, I encourage you to pin the timer. Do you see the timer, Toastmaster Nias?
Okay. So what does love feel like? Love feels like all about life. Life is all about love. No matter you are at your home, in your professional life, anywhere you are, in your religious life. It's all about love. Let's say, if you're not being loved at home, then you're not a satisfied person. If you are not loved at work by your co-workers with respect to your work, then you're not a successful professional person. If you're not loved by your God, Allah, Jesus, then you're not a good person in the afterworld. So love is all about life, basically. Everywhere you go, anything you do, it's all about love. You take out love from anything you do, you're left with a hollow circle and you're just standing in there. I feel that any person who does not take love seriously in life, in any aspects of his personal, professional, or religious calibers, they are left behind somehow. They can be somebody very rich, but they cannot be rich inside. The feelings will nothing inside them. So for me, love is all about life. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sadia. I assume this is your first table topics attempt, right? Great. Wonderful attempt. Thank
Yeah,
you so
and
much.
it was quite clear also, yeah.
At all, it was not quite clear at all. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the three speakers, commentators. I think we don't have more time, but definitely for whoever wants to do one more, we can do it at the end of today's meeting. And let me hand over back the control to our Master of Ceremony, Toastmaster Bitambaran. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, DTM Khalid Abdullah, for wonderfully conducting the table topic session. And thanks to all the commentators who gave their thoughts on the theme, that is love, unconditional love, in fact. Now, without much further ado, let me invite the general evaluator for the evaluation session. But I request the general evaluator to say one secret thing about the Beirut toy before you continue with your evaluation.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Well, we were trapped, first of all, I would like to tell you, unconditionally, we were trapped by our colleague, Toastmaster Bitambaran, and we wrote our secrets, and then we discovered that we are now on Facebook, and you're telling, you're knowing our secrets. And as Toastmaster Farhaz said, our innocence was exposed to everyone. So actually, I was between 6 and 7 years old when my mom went to pilgrimage, went to Mecca, and there was in this next street a store for toys. And there was a toy, a doll actually, almost as tall as I am. So I always passed by and said, I want this toy, I want this doll, I want this doll. And then when my mom went to Mecca, she asked me, what do you want? I told her, I want that doll in the next street. Then when she came back, I found it there next at home, and I was very happy to have it. At that time, as innocent as I was, I didn't think, how did she get the same doll that disappeared and vanished from the shop, and it was at home, that it wasn't from Mecca. And that secret was kept so long until 2 years ago. We were just having our family unconditional love evening, and then they told me this secret, that doll that I liked a lot, it wasn't from Mecca. It was just from that same shop that I used to see. So that's the secret that the distinguished Toastmaster Bitambaran would like to uncover about me. Okay, let's go back now to, since you know about this secret, let's go back to our meeting. And as a general evaluator, I would like, first of all, to thank my supporters and my team, the team who is helping me today. But what I liked about this meeting is that, first of all, I like the number of attendees. We have 28 participants, and I hope everyone enjoyed this unconditionally, enjoyed the love, the spirit of love that we spread around every time we have bad meetings. So it's not the title, I think, that attracted you. It's all the meetings that we have. And if you want to have more unconditional love In meetings, you have to join us in every meeting. If not in our BAT clubs as members, you are most welcome. So I like the number of participants or guests, and I like the idea that that in Toastmaster in general, I like it. So whenever something happens, we immediately have solutions like we didn't have the sergeant at arms on time, so directly DTM Farhaz took the place. And I like that Vice President of Education showed lots of efforts in preparing for this meeting, and I can notice this. I like the idea, the innovation of dates. I wanted to tell you something, please, DTM Farhaz. You mentioned the next meetings and contests we have. You mentioned it once. So you mentioned the date and time before the event. I would like you to mention the date again so that we mark it on our calendar. Would you mind doing this next time? I like the action from DTM Rizvi, Distinguished Toastmaster Rizvi, is that when he wanted to be offline from the camera, he said, excuse me, on the chat box. He excused everyone for having his camera off for some time. I like the speeches actually in general because we are out of time, lots of things to say. All the speeches were really guided, and we have lessons learned in every speech. Without getting into details, you already know them. What else? And we have some connection problem with the speech when Distinguished Toastmaster Ali Shahbaz was presenting his speech. So we had to replace speaker 4 instead of speaker 3, and then we got back to that. And now I would like to ask our timer for today, and thank you for being with us. Would you mind telling us the times for the speakers and the table topic speeches, please?
Yes, Madam General Evaluator. Here is the time taken by our speakers. DTM Zahra took 7 minutes 25 seconds. DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali took 7 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Lakshmi took 7 minutes 46 seconds. Toastmaster Ghulam Farooq took 7 minutes 10 seconds. And the time taken by our table topic commentators are: Toastmaster Deepak took 2 minutes 35 seconds. And Toastmaster KM Thomas took 1 minute 38 seconds. And Toastmaster Sadia took 1 minute 28 seconds. Madam General Evaluator, you are muted.
Toastmaster Wadad, you are muted.
Sorry. So they are all in for the voting?
No, only one disqualification. Toastmaster Deepak overtime, 2 minutes 35 seconds.
Okay, so only this Toastmaster Deepak is disqualified from the voting. Yeah. I believe the voting would come now for everyone to vote.
Sure, I can do that.
Is it ready?
But just,
you can, yes.
So all speakers, I heard Toastmaster Ghulam Farooq 7 minutes 38.
No, 10 seconds. 7 minutes 10 seconds.
Okay, so all qualified except
all qualified.
Toastmaster Farooq. Okay.
No, Toastmaster Deepak.
Sorry,
he's a table topic commentator.
Sure. Let me show for the best speaker for now. You can go on,
okay.
Toastmaster.
Thank you, timer, for your time, for giving us the time. And then we go back to the evaluations, to the evaluators. And I believe we need to ask the first evaluator to show us his evaluation, right? Would you help me? Because this is my first time as general evaluator. We would ask, yes, Toastmaster Thuraya Jum'a to evaluate the speech of Distinguished Toastmaster Zahra Al-Mukharrak. Toastmaster Thuraya, are you ready?
Yes, just give me a second. I will pin the timer.
Okay, yes. Okay, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So, Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmaster, and honorable guest, specifically also DTM Zahra, our speaker for today. So, DTM Zahra in 7:25 minutes, 7 minutes, 25 seconds, shared with us 5 whys and 1 how. Her strategy on how we can promote the club, or the strategy which we can take when we are doing the PR to promote our club. For those who doesn't know DTM Zahra, let me tell you that DTM Zahra today humbly show her experience, because if you don't know, she played the PR role in different position, club, area, and division, district level. Even if she does not have the role, she was involved in PR, and she because of her, the club got a lot of awards. So today she was sharing with us her this journey of running the club PR and dealing with all social medias and media tools for the club to bring members and to inform the outside Toastmaster and the media about the all events within the club. All of us noticed how she was confident. Her voice was very clear, and what I really liked in Toastmaster Zahra today, she was looking directly to the screen. Something I have to say, well done, DTM Zahra, because today I have been away from the club, and listening to you before and listening to you today on Zoom, I could see the big improvement in dealing with the online and running on giving a speech online. Today, you did really a fantastic job, and you need a club, virtual club. So well done. The PowerPoint was simple, easy to follow, and was aligned with every word what DTM Zahra was sharing. She shared also how the club was, she was promoting the club so that we can really exactly the fruit of her strategy as well. So how can Toastmaster Zahra improve the speech? One of the things I think was missing from your presentation, Toastmaster Zahra, if I am new to the club, if I want to take this role and I want to enhance my skills, you missed to mention how the club, the area, the division, or the district is supporting us when we take this role by providing several workshops, because that was one of the learning and that's how you benefited as well. So you missed that point to encourage everyone to take this role. It's not only the strategy, also the support we are getting from within the Toastmaster circle. That's second things, as a speaker, I advise you and I challenge you actually to step out of the chair and stand, because by standing, we can see your gesture easily. What happened today, you were very close and you can see my hand now. This is what was happening. So to avoid this, I challenge you next time, just stand up and give your speech. So taking this recommendation, I am sure next time you will be in a higher, you will take your speech to a higher level. By that, back to you, Madam General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Thuraya, for the keen evaluation. And I believe we can move now to the second evaluator for the second speech. He's first for the second speech, distinguished Toastmaster Farhaz Farouk. Oh my God, sorry, and I have to remember to unmute myself every time I talk. Thank you, thank you, Toastmaster Thuraya, for your evaluation. And then we go back to distinguished Toastmaster Farhaz Farouk to evaluate the second speaker, please. The floor is.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. So I will be evaluating the speech of DTM Ali, just to be clear, because we had that minor confusion in speaking order. That's okay. No, don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll do it. Timer, please start my time now. Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, and our speaker, DTM Ali, thank you so much for this great inspirational speech. The speech was full of positives, so I'm going to skip the introduction and jump straight to the positives. First of all, the topic selection. The topic selected is definitely relevant to, I would say, a vast majority of human beings in this world, because all of us have negative thoughts that come in and hit us. Is my connection gone now?
No, you are audible, sir.
You're audible.
Am I audible? Sorry, everything has just frozen. Okay, so it's all of us have negative thoughts that will come up. The next positive thing that I saw about the speech was the speaker winning the trust of the audience is very important when it comes to an inspirational speech. And this the speaker achieved by way of asking questions and soliciting response from the chat box, which the speaker did very well. Thirdly, third positive that I see, by the way, my whole screen is frozen. So can somebody tell me if you can hear me?
You are okay, sir.
All right, great.
Yes.
So the third positive that I saw with the speaker was he is a cream of the crop speaker. He used all the entire repertoire, the entire arsenal available to a speaker to craft this speech. He used imagery, the remote control, the coffee shop, the car. Then he used humor, self-deprecating. He called himself a weirdo. Then he had that exaggeration. He used the washroom. He used good, bad, ugly, praise versus put down, internal, external, energy vampires and underminers. These are great ways of drawing me as audience into the speech and keeping me glued. Great use of analogy, speed of Formula One to reflect the speed at which these thoughts move around. The use of personal stories is always important in an inspirational speech because that builds credibility and sincerity, and that was used well. Now, for a couple of improvements that I would like to suggest to our speaker is as follows. This is an inspirational speech, and the manual talks about personal, emotional, professional, and spiritual inspiration. And the topic that was selected could have been linked to all four of these. I would have loved to have seen, at least as part of the final conclusion, some kind of a link to all four of these, because it's very easy for us to bring thoughts, positive thoughts into all four. Secondly, I personally felt the close was too quick and too abrupt. Because it's an inspirational speech, a lot more time should be spent on building that final message, starting with the solution and coming up to the message. So try to spend at least about 1.5 minutes to 2 on that part. Otherwise, great inspirational speech. I have negative thoughts. I kind of now know what I should do to avoid them. I look forward to being more inspired by our great speaker. And back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Farhas Farooq, for the really very specific evaluation. And then we go back to the evaluator, Toastmaster Imelda. Would you mind, Toastmaster Imelda? Am I right?
Yes.
Yes, you are. So don't forget to pin the timer, and the floor is yours to evaluate the speaker, Farooq, Toastmaster Farooq.
Contrary to many beliefs, we just don't stumble into making a decision. Every emotion is connected with a thought, and every thought leads to an action, which become our conscious and unconscious decisions. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, good evening. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we heard the compelling speech of Toastmaster Ghulam about human transition, particularly the emotion, making decision, and taking responsibility. And I must say, Toastmaster Ghulam is a very naughty boy who broke many women's heart during his adolescence. But seriously speaking, his speech is interesting, relevant, and commendable. Let me unfold the beauty of his speech. First of all, let me focus on the content of his speech. Some of you may have the same experience like what Toastmaster Ghulam had, being young, wild, and free. Who doesn't want that? As far as human connection is concerned, I was able to connect with his
story because I have a teenage son who is having a crush on his school, admiring girls. And I believe this is part of growing up, part of our life, and something to do with the hormones as well. And if I'm going back to my memory lane, I can honestly tell you that I am not as naughty as Toastmaster Gulam, but I have experience of writing a letter to my crush and stalking him in the canteen, in the cafeteria, and that makes me smile every time I remember that scenario. But what I really like about his speech is the value or the takeaway that he told us, and that is being responsible, learn how to control yourself, keep a company that would mold you, support you, and make you a better person. And that is something admirable because people get old, but they never grew up. And that is something sad to think about. I also like the humor, the confidence, and the clarity of the voice that you made that made your speech more impactful. So kudos to Toastmaster Gulam. As for my humble suggestion, I believe voice variation would be a great impact on his speech. The diction and the pronunciation was impressive, but if you could play with your voice, for example, the dialogue between your father and the son, which has a different voice and shows emphasis on which is the one is talking. For example, when the father said, "Son, don't blame it to the hormones, be responsible." And then the son would say, "Yes, father." So it has a different voice. It shows a little more dramatic. I also like to suggest to practice using a pause. Your pacing was fast. Let the audience digest and internalize your story. We want to hear your story. I know you are excited. We are also excited, but you have to use a little pause. Overall, it was compelling, tempting, boundless, and I look forward to hear the story of a woman who made Toastmaster Gulam young, wild, and free life change. Back to our general evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Imelda, for the evaluation and for introducing Toastmaster Gulam Farooq, the naughty Gulam Farooq we have in Bat Club. It seems that we have two naughty ones. And this is what makes us cheerful all the time. Well, we go back now to distinguished Toastmaster Ratinder to evaluate our fourth speaker. I'm not saying them in order because of the mix of, we changed some changes in the agenda, so excuse me for this mixing in orders. And the floor is yours, distinguished Toastmaster Ratinder, but don't forget before that to pin the timer. The floor is yours.
Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and our speaker, Toastmaster Lakshmi Santoshi. Toastmaster Lakshmi Santoshi today took up a very burning issue in the subcontinent, an issue which has been troubling most of the people in the various countries in the subcontinent. The girl-child problem and the various aspects of the problem, which has taken the attention of most of the NGOs and many of good-minded people like Toastmaster Lakshmi to help get over this problem. First, I would like to commend her on taking up this issue as a project and going ahead with it and trying to alleviate the problem for some of the people at least. Having said that, Toastmaster Lakshmi Santoshi crafted her speech in a very nice way. First, she told us about the problem. She told us about the problem the girl child faces or is still facing even in these times, and how it is affecting the future generations. Then she went ahead and gave us some statistics of the problem so that we get a better idea of the problem itself. After she told us about the statistics and explained to us about what is the real issue and where it is then she went ahead and gave us information about what is being presently done. A very nice way of telling a problem, then telling us the statistics, how the problem is affecting various people, and then coming back with the solutions which some of the people in the government and all the other agencies are doing. This is what she said, folded it in front of us. And then she told her role in this problem, how she is handling it, how her leadership is being used, her leadership skill are being used to generate, interact, and generate some interest among all the public to overcome this situation. The first issue was how she as a leader took it over and projected what are all the things which needs to be done. First, the interaction with the people, then the funding, and then how to do the funding properly and see what are the results. A very nicely scripted speech. I have only 2 points which I need to tell her about. The most important thing which I felt in her speech was whenever she was going back from the screen, her voice was fading away. So it was getting little difficult to hear. And the second, the most important thing is her conclusion should have had her experience as a leader. A little more elaboration on that would have helped. Otherwise, a brilliant subject, attended very well, delivered very well, and could have been a very, very nice project if she had done these 2 things, taken care of these 2 things. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Ratinder, for the really, really nice evaluation we heard from you. And I would like to thank all the evaluators for their efforts with us today and for their keen advice they shared us all. I'd like to go back to our timer, and would you like to inform us about the time of the 4 evaluators, please? The floor is yours.
Yes, Madam General Evaluator. Here is the time taken by our evaluators. Toastmaster Thuraiya took 3 minutes 38 seconds. DTM Faraz Farooq took 3 minutes 20 seconds. DTM Ratinder took 3 minutes 30 seconds. And Toastmaster Imelda took 4 minutes 2 seconds. We have 2 disqualifications, Toastmaster Thuraiya and Toastmaster Imelda.
Okay, so we have 2 disqualifications, Toastmaster Thuraiya and Toastmaster Imelda. I hope President would note this for the vote.
Yeah, should I, as I amend the evaluation part, can I do the table topics now?
Voting for the table topic, you mean, right?
Yes, yes. I'll fix the best evaluator
Okay.
because I have to take off 2.
Okay.
Okay. So can I ask everyone out of the 25 that we have to vote, please? And over to you, GE.
Thank you. So you made us busy with this. Okay, now we would like, thank you, the timer, for being with us, and we'd like to move to the grammarian. Our grammarian for today is distinguished Toastmaster Ahmed Rizvi. Are you with us? Sorry, I can't see you on my screen. Yes, now. The floor is yours. Would you mind telling us your notes as a grammarian? You are still muted. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Distinguished Toastmasters, most welcome, distinguished guests. Good evening to you all once again. As a grammarian, I was really pleased today because most of the speakers used the word of the day today. Word of the day has been used 9 times. Toastmaster Pitambaram has used, and speaker number 1, Ghulam Farooq, used evaluator. Toastmaster Faraz Farooq used, Toastmaster Ratinder, and table topic master Toastmaster Abdullah used. And idiom of the day also, some of them tried to use Toastmaster Pitambaram, as even in the chat box said that cream of the crop yet to come. And Toastmaster Ghulam Farooq said, Toastmaster Faraz Farooq, distinguished Toastmaster, he also used the cream of the crop. As for the words used, some of the beautiful words were used, something like compelling, tempting, brilliant, and I could not take count of the words which was used by distinguished Toastmaster Ali Shahbaz Ali and Toastmaster Faraz Farooq. So they were so fast and so quick to grasp the words that were used. So much of wonderful words. It was a very pleasant meeting, and I am very happy as a grammarian that the usage of the word as well as the idiom was very well placed in wherever it was required. The grammatical mistakes were very limited, very few, and the language used was very high quality of language, mostly Middle Eastern and Asian, and also some accent of Western. With that, my report comes to the end, and I wish all the best to the speakers, that they have done a great job. The speaking speaking performance was so wonderful today. Music to the ears, so nice speeches we listened today. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much for your efforts, for being with us and giving us this lovely report. I would like to remind everyone that the Vice President of Public Relations has just posted a link in the chat box for you to share your comments and feedback for our meeting for today. So please don't forget to give us your comments. That would be really welcomed, and this would make us to improve ourselves the best possible. And now we will go back to our counter for today.
Madam GE, can I, with your permission, can I launch the best evaluator while you do your bet as well?
Yes.
The poll for
no
the
problem, because I think we shouldn't be out of.
Yes, back to you now.
Okay, thank you.
Please vote for the best evaluator.
Okay, so we'll ask now our counter to give us his report, her report for today.
Hi, good evening, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So as the counter of the day, I just like to announce my report. Initially, I was having a tough time to select the Hakun or the King of today's meeting. But at the end of the meeting, I have got some Queens and Kings. So let me give my report. So I have DTM Tureya with 4 hours and 2 arms. I have TM with 8 hours and 3 arms. Toastmaster Deepak with 5 hours and 3 arms. Toastmaster Sadia Batul with 2 hours and 1 arm. Toastmaster, who's this? Toastmaster Imelda with 2 hours and 2 arms. DTM Ratindranath with 2 hours and 2 arms. And Toastmaster Nias with 2 hours. And yes, DTM Faraz with 3 hours. Back to you, General Evaluator.
You're muted, GE.
No, I'm pressing on it. Actually, it's not taking the press. So thank you, counter, for your report for today. Thanks for everyone for being with us today. And I would like to thank newcomers who shared us a few minutes ago in our meeting, distinguished guests and fellow Toastmasters. I would leave back to the Toastmaster of the day. Where is he? Pitambaram. Yes, now I can see you. The floor is yours because we are out of time. I think we still have 1 minute to close the meeting, so the floor is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator, the lady in red today. Once again, I take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you, being with us today almost like 2.5 hours. And we still have some guests join. Now, all those parts I am passing to our president. Over to you, President.
Thank you so much, Master of Ceremonies. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Yes, we are on the dot, so let's move on so we can finish it. Excuse us for finishing a few minutes late. So let me announce the winners for today. Let me start with best table topics. Any guesses? Best table topics.
Sadia?
It is Toastmaster Sadia Batul. Well done, Toastmaster Sadia.
Guys, thank you.
Well done. Brilliant comment.
Very nice to know this because it was my first attempt, so I'm really overwhelmed. Thank you.
It was great. Well done. Moving on to the best evaluator. Any guesses? Toastmaster Bitambar, and your guesses these days are right. So
You are nominating me in many places as judge, so I learned the art of
best evaluator is DTM Ratinder Nath. Great going, DTM Ratinder. And the best speaker for today. By the way, the best evaluator and the best speaker, they were all very close. But one vote here, two votes there. Even the, well, yeah, table topics was a bit clear. Great, so the best speaker for today is whoever disconnected it twice and came back, DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali. Well done everyone. Well done for all of the speakers, well done for all of the evaluators, table topics commentators, role players, XCOM. Yes, we made an enriching meeting yet once more. And Bahrain Advanced Toastmaster Club is still Advanced Toastmaster Club, although we are advancing by 2 minutes from the meeting, but that's fine. And let me call this meeting to adjourn. And may I ask everyone to switch their camera on so we can have a group photo. This would be a challenge for our Vice President of Public Relations because today we have 2 screens. No, now it's only just 1 screen. Good, not that of a challenge. Great. Vice President of Public Relations, should we wait? Rashid?
I see Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And Rashid Balul, Ali Salami, all.
Toastmaster Deepak,
Vinny Jora,
Sadia, Nadia.
DTM Khalid Amin has a super background. I don't know if anybody
yes,
else.
my God, Khalid, brother Khalid.
Very good underwear, yes.
You are the man.
So let's, DTM Zahra, tell me whether my pose is fine, because you are mute.
Where's Zara, by the way? I am not able to see her. Zara. Ah, there she is, Zara.
She's clicking. Done? I told you, she's clicking. You should not speak.
One more with our special speaker. I'm not sure.
Okay, Yalla. One more.
Yeah, one more, please. 3, 2,
yes.
1. Cheese. Perfect.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. We would stay here to hear from you. For those who want
I
to
would like to say something.
Please.
Mr. President, it's just like last year in February, it was our last physical meeting.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like 1 year from now. I hope you're all safe. Yeah, still we can see each other, meet, but inshallah, very soon we will be able to meet again physically.
But I really miss the actual meetings. the in-person meetings, DTM Zara. You do something, huh? Please.
No worries, no worries. Let's hear from the guest. And the first guest I would really love to hear from, because he did not introduce himself initially, Abdurrahman. Was very attentive, and he kept on asking questions, which is excellent. That shows the interest, because sometimes, you know, the Toastmaster world, we go into things, meetings, we feel that everything is clear. Please, Abdurrahman, we would love to hear from you.
Hello everyone. Are you here? Am I?
Yes, you can